Well, it looks like it didn't take a whole lot of time for us to get some more details on Elden Ring, but luckily, myself, MarcTheCyborg, as well as my assistant Harley here, are ready to go over some of the details with you. Isn't that right, Harley? So the first thing to note is that there's going to be 6 major areas that you can travel between, which are each ruled over by a different demigod. Knowing what I know about the From Software games, I'm willing to bet that at some point you're going to be fighting and killing each one of these demigods, though I'm not going to rule out the possibility of some of them being friendly or having more of like a conversation with them or something. It is possible, but I'm willing to bet that either way, getting to those bosses or demigods will have you fighting a whole bunch of other bosses on the way, because I honestly can't imagine a From Software game in which there are only 6 bosses. That's not going to happen. They did also confirm that between these 6 dungeons, there's going to be a hub world that I'm assuming you can run around with that horse, and this hub world will actually have a map so you can sort out which ones you visited at which time, because apparently you can tackle these dungeons in any order you want. The interesting thing about being a map, though, is the From Software games don't ever have maps. You generally have to just kind of learn the layout of each game by exploring. The last bit of information from the IGN interview apparently says that the dungeons themselves will be catacombs, castles, fortresses, mini-dungeons, etc. Which, I mean, I think we all probably could have guessed, but now we know that the dungeons are going to be various fortresses and catacombs. I'm willing to bet one of them will be a poison level, though. Famitsu also had an interview with Hidetaka Miyazaki, and he confirmed, amongst other things, that he's confident the game will hit its January 2022 release date. Which, I mean, to be honest, I'm pretty confident in too, because From Software is pretty good at delivering their games on time when they say they're going to. They're not really a studio that's huge on delays. Now, the beer bug might throw a wrench into those plans, because every studio is kind of getting used to doing a work-from-home setup, but Hidetaka Miyazaki is apparently pretty confident that his timelines will remain strict. And if you hear snorting, that would be Harley. We also got confirmation that you are going to be playing as a player-created character. There is going to be multiple endings for you to earn, so hopefully multiple playthroughs with multiple characters will be in order. And apparently the game is going to offer more freedom than any other From Software game to date. We also got confirmation that there will be optional bosses for you to track down, which, given the open world setup, having optional bosses makes a ton of sense, and they might act as a carrot on the stick for you to actually do some exploring in the open world and not just beeline the main story. Battle arts are going to be making a return from Dark Souls 3, which were essentially special abilities which used mana for your weapons, but apparently this time they're not going to be tied to weapons. I think we'll have to wait to see exactly how that's going to be implemented in the final game, though. A new mechanic which we've never seen in a From Software game before, though, are spirits, which can apparently be collected and then summoned to use as attack, decoys, or defense. So I guess this is going to be a Dark Souls game with some Pokemon elements? I don't know exactly how that's going to work, but I'm excited to find out. In addition to being able to collect and summon these spirits, you can also level them up, so it actually kind of sounds similar to the Guardian Spirit mechanic in the Nioh games from Team Ninja. Multiplayer has been confirmed, with an interesting detail being that apparently you're not allowed to ride your horses while on the open map, so I assume that the trade-off for having a co-op partner is that you'll have to face the dangers of the world without being able to just run past them. And honestly, I think that balancing out co-op is something that does need to happen, because anytime I have summoned another player in a From Software game, it really cuts the difficulty down to the point that I feel like I didn't really earn a boss kill if I did it with a co-op partner. Asynchronous multiplayer also returns, so if you find that you were surprised by something horrible in a game that you didn't see coming, you can at least leave a note for other players that might come across the same dangers. Finally, fall damage is confirmed to be pretty low, which is amazing because I hate dying from fall damage in almost any game. I know that it's realistic, that falling off a cliff or a building can kill you. It just really sucks, especially if it happens because of weird camera or control issues. Elden Ring is also apparently going to have a more manageable difficulty than most of the other From Software games due to the amount of options that the players will have, but apparently the enemies themselves are still going to be very tough. So I'm assuming what that means is that the co-op mode will cut down the difficulty the way it does in the other Dark Souls games, but if you want to tackle things alone, you're probably still going to have to get good. All in all, though, the game is apparently going to take around 30 hours to beat and won't involve a lot of backtracking, so hopefully that's going to be 30 hours of unique content. So what are you guys thinking about those new Elden Ring details? Is it getting you all pumped up, or are you still thinking, this is just another Dark Souls game, I don't care? Either way, leave a comment below and let me know. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to Gaming with Geeks and my channel, MarcTheCyborg, and everybody say goodbye to Harley because she's a very good doggo.